On February 8, 1968, after 3 nights of escalating racial tension over efforts by South Carolina State College students and others to desegregate the All-Star bowling lanes, 3 students died and 27 others were wounded on this campus. South Carolina Highway Patrolmen fired on a crowd here, killing Samuel Hammond Jr., Delano Middleton, and Henry Smith. This tragedy was the first of its kind on any American college campus.
It was a barrage of shots, and like I said, it was maybe 6 or 7 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. Students was hollering, yelling, and running. So by this time, I went into a slope right near the campus, where the front end of the campus, and I kneeled down. I got up to run, and I took 1 step. That's all I could remember. I took that 1 step, I got hit in the back. When I got hit in the back, this is when I got paralyzed. Students was tramping over me because they was afraid.
And I dropped to the ground immediately, instinctively. I dropped to the ground. And within 2 or 3 seconds, I began to hear rounds going past my ears. I felt my coat like it was somebody was trying to pull it off, with what it really was rounds hitting my coat. And then I got hit. Prior to being hit, I heard some people started yelling. In fact, I remember hearing somebody laugh just before we realized we were being shot at. We thought they were shooting in the air. It entered right here and just missed my spine. I didn't see much bleeding. I remember running, getting up and moving. I think the coat that I had on probably formed as a compressed maybe. I don't know. I had a large overcoat on. I remember asking him, I said, "Joe, can you see? Am I just nicked?" I was hoping that I just got grazed, And he said, "No, look like, there's a hole there, Jordan." I said, "Oh, golly," And we got onto the infirmary, and there was blood all over the place. I mean, people were lying around, yelling and screaming, and the poor nurse on duty, she was a mess. She had never seen anything like that. It was worse than any combat situation. Let's put it this way, it was probably equivalent to a combat situation in war. The official count was 27 plus 3, actually 30. 3 died, 27 injured.
I remember getting shot in my face and being spun around, and instinct said, "You got to get out of here, you got to go for safety." And the only thing I could think of was get into the infirmary.
Just so happened, there was a trash can in front of me. I was on a pretty good coverage there of that trash can, see, but the trash can had some legs under it. And that's how I got shot in the hip. The bullet come under the leg. Under the trash can, it caught me in the hip. And under the trash can, it caught me in the leg. If it wasn't for the trash can, I probably would have been dead. If I would have stood up, I would have been dead. But I had enough courage to stay there for at least 45 seconds after the shooting. And folks were running all across me, crying and shooting. Some of them was crawling. And I realized they had ceased fire. That's when I got up and ran to the infirmary. When I got to the infirmary, my best friend Sam, which is dead now, the one that they killed, he was laying in the middle of the floor, just trying to grasp for air. And at that particular point, I didn't even know I was shot. See, I crossed my leg in the infirmary. I saw a little red spot on my pants. And I realized right then that I've been hit down there. And by sitting down, watching Sam eat emotion myself, when I stood up, reached back there, I had a big apple back there. I didn't realize I got shot in the hip neither, see. Got shot in the hip. The muscle was just like big as a big fist. And I realized I got shot in the hip, I got shot twice.
He took me to the school infirmary. And from there, I laid on the floor on a mattress. At this time, Sam Hammond, we was laying head to head by each other. And the last thing I can remember Sam said, they used to call me Big Dooley because I was playing football at this time. I was weighing about 260. And this is when Sam asked me, he said, Dooley, you think I'm going to live? I say, Sam, you're going to be all right, buddy. And next time I look over there, he was dead. I took my hand and put over his face like this to close his eyes because he died with his eyes open.